Morning Blues, I'm Laney, you're you, and this is the Manchester's Blue Breakfast Show. Got a few things we're going to talk about this morning. Obviously, as usual, let us know what you're thinking, let us know in the comments. Okie dokie. Sorry it's been a while, I was feeling rotten again last week. It's been one thing after another. And sorry for the delay, I was just trying to sort my phone out because my room's been sorted and things weren't where they should have been. We're getting there. There we go. Okie dokie. Starting off, Pep and the substitutions, or lack of. I want to know what people's opinions are, what people think is the logic or reasoning behind it. It confuses me beyond all belief, I must admit. It's not anymore just about when we make substitutions, it's more like if we make substitutions. If you look at the last three games we've had, Burnley, when we thrashed Burnley, we made 3 substitutions in that match. All 3 substitutes, including one at half time. Fernandinho came on for Rodri. But then the following game against Porto, we only used 1 substitution. And then the last game against Fulham, we didn't use any. And there's been other games this season where, I think was it Tottenham, where we only used 1 substitute and it was like the 80th minute or something daft. Sometimes games cry out for a change, bit of pace, bit of passion, something different, someone to control the game, whatever. And I see it time and time again, City fans crying out for the substitution, saying, oh, we should do this, we should do that. And it doesn't happen until like the 80th minute, by which point it's a bit too late. And obviously Pep himself has turned around and said, we should be able to have 5 substitutes in the Premier League. Just to help the players cope with what's going on. So, if he wants 5 substitutes, surely he should be using the 3 you've already got, but I don't know. Let me know what you think about his substitutions, whether you think he's got a logic behind it, or whether you're as baffled as I am. Just going to go through some of the comments. We've got Ruby. Is it Ruby Nath? Alright, mate. James Taylor, morning. Lorraine, obviously, and Derek. There's always Lorraine and Derek. Morning, Darren, Blue Army. Morning, Adam, Paul. Sorry I can't read that name because could be Sanskrit, I believe, but it's on about it's on about Ollie anyway. I'll get to him later, don't worry. Morning, Neil. Dad. So we got Neil Horrell. Pep makes wrong changes and at the wrong time. Okay, is there any particular game in particular you can think of? Morning, Lewis. Is it Lewis or Louis? And Lorraine, Derek's on about the derby. I'm not going to even mention the derby, to be quite honest, today. I'm going to put it out there. The reason being, obviously we've got Marseille this evening, so I always focus on one game at a time if I can. And on top of that, obviously there's the Manchester's Blue show tomorrow evening as well, so I'm guessing we'll be discussing at some point the derby as well, so don't worry about that. Neil Riley, think he might have learnt. Who did he put Fernandinho on with 5 minutes to go when he got injured when the game was won? Yeah. You'd hope he'd learn his lesson, but I don't know. It seems really bizarre. Like I said, players like Kevin De Bruyne, Kyle Walker. Sometimes they look dead on the feet or they look frustrated. It's just like you think, just get them off, rest them. It's an odd one, I'm trying my best not to criticise Pep anymore. I'm trying to be positive, a bit more supportive. But the substitutions, it just confuses me. It really does baffle me. I remember listening to when we played Arsenal in the FA Cup semi-final last season. You know, we listened to it, and the admins in the group chat were just going, "Oh, we said, well, we should do this," and we were all saying what we needed to do, and we all said by like the 60th minute we were screaming for the changes to be made, and it took another 10, 15 minutes or so before anything was done. By which point we were 2-0 down and the game was over. So sometimes he does confuse me. Right, we'll have to watch later. Wi-Fi playing up. Not to worry. We know what it's like in Morocco. Morning, Elaine. Hello. So yeah, I mean, going to be moving on in a bit to the Marseille, my predictions for Marseille and stuff, but obviously Pep has come out and said that 4 or 5 of the EDS players will be with the first team. I really don't think it's I get the feeling, I know he's mentioned the EDS are going to be out there, but I can't see them being in the first team. Question is whether he will bring them on as substitutes throughout the game. I hope he does. I hope he uses all his allocated 5 substitutions tonight, to be honest, and give the best possible chance of resting some of our key players. So we'll see what happens tonight with that. Let's have a look at this. It's going to be a completely different side tonight, yeah, Tony. I do have a predicted lineup. I'm going to get onto that in a minute. I'm going to talk about Eric Garcia first, and then I'll get onto the Marseille game and my predictions for that one. Lorraine, United lost to Red Bull, yeah. Again, I'll cover that, don't you worry. Michael's on about let's go for the win. Well, fingers crossed, I hope we do. James Taylor, he wants a score prediction for tonight. He's put his bet on. I'm thinking of another clean sheet and a couple of goals. You're not going to be impressed with my prediction then. Look, burning issue, Laney. Is it me or are we the most wasteful team in one-on-one situations? I never fancy us to score in clear counter-attack. Sterling is the worst and KDB joined the club against Fulham. I put a post on last week because I was actually going to discuss this type of thing last week about City's finishing, because I don't think it's just in one-on-ones, but they do tend to be a serious issue. Obviously, even from the penalty spot, we've had problems. The problem we've got is that we don't have an instinctive finisher. We don't have that hungry attacker, striker. Raheem Sterling, yes, he's good. He was our bloody top goal scorer last season, but he isn't a striker. It's as simple as that. He's not a striker. You could put anybody up front, and if you're not naturally a striker, you're not going to be able to. I don't know whether it's a composure issue, or whether it's just a confidence thing, or even technique. I don't know what it is. One-on-one, you got 50-50 chance the keeper can come out and try and do it, but again, what are we frightened of? We're not putting our laces through it, we're not rounding keepers, we're not lobbing them, we're just wasting it. So it is a burning issue. It does absolutely infuriate me at times. I think it's been an issue for a while. I know last season we scored plenty of goals, but again, you've got Raheem Sterling as your top goal scorer. Raheem Sterling is not a striker. I think it's a bad thing when an attacking midfielder or one of your wide forwards is your top goal scorer, because it just shows you've no one in the middle to finish, and that was a big problem. To me, we really should have been signing a striker in the summer. But hopefully it's just something we'll address sooner rather than later. I am hoping as well that it's our blip. I'm hoping the start of our season has basically been our blip. The last few games we've kept a couple of clean sheets, we've won games. Even Porto, you know, it was 0-0, but it was a clean sheet. Let's just think that that was our blip, and you know, our usual Christmas balls up isn't going to happen this year. So hopefully we can just crack on now and start putting some goals in. Paul Nicholls, perfect time to be giving youth all these on the injury comeback some minutes, even if it's only 15. Nick Johnson, on the back of Pep potentially playing some young players tonight, is there any truth behind the rumour that BT Sport, having run out of negative things to say about City, have enlisted the services of the Pinger of Doom, Danny Mills, to join their team? I honestly don't know, because I don't have, as it stands, I don't have normal TV or BT or anything like that, so I don't know who's joining them. I must admit, I've seen Danny Mills a few times on the comments, and he really isn't the greatest, is he? You know, he's certainly no Mika Richards when it comes to commentating or punditry. Lloyd Samuels, just watching United's highlights, like the gift that keeps on giving. Yep. Neil Horrell, rest of the first team players as we've qualified and played some of the kids. He's taking 5 of them tonight, but he's saying that he wants to go out and win. Well, yeah. Lloyd Samuels, Torres and Phil Shaw. So, okay, so I'm going to get on to Eric Garcia. Just a couple of a couple of these predictions. We've got a 3-0 with Torres and Foden to score. Clean sheet and a 4-0 win. Derek says it's going to be a 5-0 win. Obviously to City. Wish we could just ping Garcia off. If he doesn't want to play, that's fine, let him go. John Sosa played the last 3 games with Diaz, high standard. Yeah, they've been good. And that's before any academy players. Read somewhere that Pep is looking to move Foden to a striker as he is no longer needed in midfield. Thoughts? I'll address that in a minute. Right. Garcia, now I've just seen a couple of... we just had that one saying we want to bin him off, and Paul Nicholls has agreed with that. Everyone knows my opinion on Garcia so far. This season, I don't think he should even be with the squad. I think he should be just playing golf at Boys Note or somewhere. Just bugger off, basically. You don't want to play for the club. You don't want to be part of our team. Not interested, you know. We want players out there who want to play for the shirt. However, obviously he's not signed a contract extension with City, and we're a few weeks away from him being able to sign a pre-contract agreement elsewhere. Obviously there was a few transfer rumours that he was going to be potentially bought in the January window, which I honestly don't see the point. Eric Garcia isn't the kind of player who, any club he's going to want to go to, who you could argue is bigger than City or better for him than City, I'm not going to be desperately trying to bid for Eric Garcia in the January window, because they're desperate for him, you know. They can sign him on a pre-contract for diddly squat. Why would you pay money for something you can get for free, unless you're desperate? And I think the only clubs who would be desperate for a decent centre-back, he's not going to be interested, so I think it's nonsense, the idea of him going in January. However, obviously, for those of you who have not seen, things aren't peachy at Barcelona anymore. Barcelona's head coach has gone to Real Madrid. He's upped and left, which is like a big no-no. Their interim president has turned around and confirmed that they're not going to be paying the players for January amidst their apparent financial crisis. You know, you might be the richest club in the world, but you've also got the most overheads, and when the money's, you know, the fans aren't there, it's you're going to come unstuck. Obviously, Messi's not happy and hasn't been now for months. They lost last night 3-0 at home to Juventus. I know they've qualified, but still 3-0 drove in at home isn't what you expect from Barcelona. I honestly don't know what's going to happen. I know one of the admins has turned around and said he reckons Garcia might sign a contract with City. given the situation. Whether I'd want that or not, I mean, he's already set where his heart is, and if you think about it, if any of you now were in a position where you were playing for Man City, you know, you're 18, 19, 20 years old, you're a young lad, or young lass, whatever, you're playing for Man City, and it's your boyhood club. Doesn't matter what happens off the pitch, surely you'd want to stick with them regardless. You know, if you're a fan of that, if they're your boyhood club or your girlhood club, you'd stick with them through and through, surely. You know, I know if if it was me in a position like that and City were being relegated or losing all the money and had nothing, I'd still want to play for City because I'm a City fan. You know, it doesn't matter what league we're in, what we're winning, what we're losing. You know, you want to play for your club, so I can't see why he'd change his mind. Obviously, just because they're not being paid in January doesn't mean they're not going to get paid at some point. I think even if Barcelona went bankrupt and lost everything and had to start again, they'd have plenty of money. You know, I don't think it's an issue. So, yeah, let's have a look at what people have said about him. Oh, any news on Ake? I haven't heard anything yet, personally. Hopefully he's fit for tonight, that would be good. Arsenal keeping a close eye on John Stones. I'm glad he's starting to get some games. Might make him think about staying. Well, John Stones wants to stay, doesn't he? He wants to stay and fight for his spot. Why he'd go to Arsenal, I don't know. That's a bit of a sinking ship as well. Lloyd again. Go to Barcelona for all we care. They're having a nightmare. Might end up not qualifying for Champions League next season at this rate. I can see it happening. I can honestly see that happening. Remember when Carlos Tevez, he didn't want to play in the Champions League? Yeah. Similar kind of thing. Well, no, it's not really similar to that because there's mixed reports about what happened with Tevez and Mancini, where he apparently refused to come on, and Tevez said it was a miscommunication, but then he ended up in Argentina for however many weeks playing golf, so yeah. My Bowman, Garcia straight swap now for Messi. Barca can't afford to pay Messi his loyalty bonus, so if it makes sense to do the deal now, yeah, okay. I'm sure Dan Fielden would probably agree with you on that. I know he's a big Messi fan. He'd have him like that. So yeah, again, if that's the case, would you want to again? That's an idea, but where would Messi fit into our current squad? You know, where are you putting Messi? Because Messi's not going to be one of those players who wants to just sit on the bench. I don't think. Although saying that, if he joins in January, he'll probably be quite happy on the bench with the big puffy jackets on and the seat warmer. Louis Cooper, watch Garcia, and he has poor distribution and is slow on counter-attacks. Not so sure on his distribution. His counter-attacks, I think, is a bit harsh to probably criticise too much on, because the way we've been playing this season in terms of our counter-attacks, we seem to stop the counter-attacking anyway. I know Dan Fielden on his commentary a few times, numerous games, has mentioned there's a break on, and it's, oh no, wait, we've stopped and we've played back, so I honestly think Garcia he is a player of for the future. You know, he is a decent centre-back, can't be denied. Whether he'll be at City to fulfil that kind of role, I think it's less likely now, which is a shame because 12 months ago I wanted him at City for the long-term future, but especially since he's the youngster who's been given his chance by Pep. Neil Horrell, City under-21s lost 2-1 to Tranmere Rovers with 8 minutes left for penalty. Oh, that's a shame. It's not bad though, really. Christopher Fons, morning mate. We do not need Messi, we need a striker. Spot on. James, I said to Dan at the weekend, John Stones will be like Joe Hart this season, as in replacements bought down and then bought down and out, and start performing well in training, become first choice and a City legend. That would be idealistic. That would be perfect. I hope that happens, because I'll hold my hands up. I was the one in the summer saying we should sell. We really should sell John Stones, mainly for his mental health, because he looked like he'd lost the plot. I wasn't really behind him or supportive, but if he can do that, full credit to the lad. He's shown his determination. He wants to stay at City. He wants to fight for the club. Give him his chance, and he's been giving it now the last few games, and he's done well. Him and Diaz, really well. Christopher fans, Messi will just mess up our rotation, and players like Bernardo and Foden will suffer, and that's a shame. Yeah, I can see players like them. I can even see Torres losing out, which isn't going to help them. That's a good question, Louis. We need a striker. Who? That's the big question, isn't it? That's the big question. Who do we need? Who do we... well, not just who do we need, who can we get? I'm not even going to bite that cherry this morning, though. I'm not even going to address that, because we could be here till dinner time and I need sleep. So, moving on. Oh, sorry. Stones needs to do it in big games. Yes. Our last big game, I remember him doing it. So it was Liverpool with the goal line clearance. But from what I can remember that season, that was pretty much all he did. Prediction for tonight. We're going to address Marseille. I've just had a quick look. Obviously, City are through. We're top of the group. We can't be caught. Marseille cannot qualify for the Champions League, but it's now between them and Olympiacos as to who gets Europa League. So Marseille are going to come out and really... They've got nothing... Well, they've got more to lose than City have anyway. Obviously, usually I like to make a prediction when I've seen the team sheets, because then I know, I've got more information to go off. But I must admit, I was thinking about this last night while I was at work, and as much as I want to win and a clean sheet, tonight's result doesn't particularly bother me as much. I think the thing I want more than anything tonight is no injuries, and just the opportunity for some of the young lads to play. That, to me, I think is, the priority. I said it as well. I said it a couple of games back now with the Champions League. We've qualified. If Pep wants to mess around with tactics, strategies, whatever, if he wants to change things, experiment a bit, tonight's the night. Do it now. Have a look. Test something out. Obviously, if it works, great. If not, scrap it and don't revisit it. Tonight is the night when you can dick about if you want, as far as I'm concerned. I'm not going to make a predicted lineup in terms of what I think Pep will play. Just because I've said it before, who can predict what Pep's going to do? It's pointless. So what I've done is I've actually come up with the team I would play. If given, if it was, as Tom Brunt says, if you were Pep for the day, who are you putting in? And I'll do a post after we've finished this podcast with my predicted lineup, and we'll let you have your 2 cents on the matter. So my starting 11, I'm not doing subs because it seems in the Champions League, I think if you're a registered player and you're not in the starting 11, you're pretty much on the bench. They just seem to name all 12. It's a bit mad. So I'm not even going to bother with the subs because it could be anybody's guess. But if it was up to me, my starting 11 would be Zach Steffen in goal. I'd then be going for 3 centre-backs with Nathan Ake, if he's fit. Again, we're not too sure on that, but if he is fit, I'd love to have him play because I wouldn't be risking him against United. So, give him the chance tonight, just say that, there's no pressure, no issues, just take it easy, get back into the game. John Stones as well, alongside him, and Eric Garcia. So, Eric Garcia, because he's an option that means we're not going to risk injury to a more important player. Gives him a taste of, this is what you could also have, play for City. And John Stones, he's on such a high at the minute, such a high. I think in the middle of Garcia and Ake, I think he could step up and take hold of that back three. He seems to be full of confidence. Don't drop him. Let him play. Maybe bring him off after the 50-minute, 60-minute mark. Make sure he's well rested and injury free. But that's what I'd do. So that's my back three. I'd have two wing backs. So Zinchenko on the left, and I would start Felix Nemetcha on the right. Nemetcha has been quite a good attacking player. He's replaced Zinchenko in the Champions League. He's replaced Kevin De Bruyne. See how he plays at that right wing back kind of role. Letting him get forward. I hope we're going to be attacking anyway. So that should play to his strengths, but let's see what he can do defensively as well. Again, he's nothing to lose. Just go out there and do your bit. Two central midfielders. I would be playing Fernandinho as captain and Tommy Doyle. So Fernandinho, just that rock in the middle, to pull the strings, to just keep everybody calm, make sure everyone's on point. And Tommy Doyle, I think the lad deserves a bit of a first team start. Let's see what he can do, not just a cameo sub appearance. And I'd also have Phil Foden playing just ahead of them. So with that, you've got a defensive midfielder, a more traditional central midfielder, and then you get your attacking midfielder as well. And then up front, I'd play with two strikers. Give Marseille something to think about. Sergio Aguero, definitely. The lad needs a goal. He's only got one goal this season so far. He needs to be playing and finding his form. Plus, I'd also have Palmer. Is it Cole Palmer? Playing alongside him. Young lad who's doing well for the EDS. He's travelled with the first team. Give him a chance. It'd be better to be playing alongside in your, Champions League debut or whatever than Sergio. So that would be my team. Got some fringe players, likes of Zach Steffen, Zinchenko. You got some youth, Doyle, Palmer, Nemetcha. You got the ones coming back from injuries, and you've got the ones either needing confidence or needing something, or you've got the ones who just, you don't want to hold them back. So that would be my starting 11. Let's see what other people have said. Oh, we finished better than last week at Porto. So we've got Louis Cooper going for a 3-1 to City. That'd be good. If Delap plays today, he will score. I think Delap played last night. Unfortunately, Delap would have been my first choice. Up front, along with Aguero, I must admit. I like Delap after what I've seen. But he was playing last night, so I think it's safe to say he won't be there. Oh, that's confirmed just by Neil there, yep. So Tony Thompson is saying that Stephan's already starting on Sky Sports last night. Well, Lorraine wants Gabriel Jesus. I think I'd be resting him personally for the derby. I certainly won't be playing him as a lone striker. James said he's read that Pep is looking to move Foden to a striker as he's no longer needed in midfield. I think that's a ridiculous idea, to be honest. I honestly don't get the whole thing with Pep and Foden. I don't know why he's not playing him as much as he should be. In my opinion, he should be playing every game. He was saying last season he's the man to replace David Silva. Well, David Silva's now gone, so David Silva's gone, and all of a sudden we've changed from playing 2 attacking midfielders to 1. So he's changed his style, Pep, and it's not suiting Foden. I know Foden's made the best out of what he can playing out wide, but that's what I'd do. Personally, I'd keep Foden in the middle. It's where he plays best. Let's leave him there. So, Neil, risky playing Sergio with the derby coming up on Saturday. To be honest, I wouldn't start Sergio in the derby on Saturday anyway. I had no intention of starting Sergio. He's not found his form yet. He's still, I don't think, 100% after his injuries. And we all know the first thing United are going to do if he's playing in the derby, first thing they're going to do is crunch him. Knowing how injury prone he is, that's all they're going to do. They're going to kick him off the park if he's on from the start. So no. Although we don't have any other, what you call first choice actual striker, he'd be on the bench for me at weekend. But I'll tackle that another day. Like I said, there's the Manchester Blue show tomorrow. Oh, I don't know which of the admins this is, but interested to see what you thought of the EDS crashing out of the EFL trophy. Bear in mind, 5-6 of their better players are in the first team. I take it you mean that 5 or 6 of the EDS players were in the first team. Thing with the EFL trophy, I mean, a couple of seasons ago they got to the semi-final. I think they went out to Sunderland on penalties, who I think they eventually won it. You know, these are young lads, and it's a cup competition at the end of the day. You know, it's I think last night was a knockout round. It's obviously different as well with no fans being there, which I think has an impact. And the thing you got to remember, I mean, yes, to the EDS, you know, these are players under 23. Most of them probably aren't even 21 yet. And they're playing against grown men, you know, they're playing against players who've been professional footballers for 10, 15 years, some of them, you know. So it's not just the technical aspects of playing football, it's the physical and the mental side that they're competing against. And it's good for them, because it's cracking experience. Obviously it's nice if they can win a trophy as well doing that, but at the same time I'm not expecting them to win anything, particularly with the EFL trophy. I think that's more of a learning curve and experience for them. So I'm not too concerned that they went out to Tranmere or whoever it was. What's the betting that he plays Mendy tonight? Oh God, he better not do. I'm not a fan of bloody Mendy anyway, to be quite honest. I think he's done his bit, but although saying that, if he plays Mendy tonight, maybe that means Cancelo starts or Zinchenko starts against United. Who knows? Oh, and it's Halifax. What I mean is they could have beat Tranmere if they had Palmer, Doyle, etc. He said they're playing it. Yeah. See, that's a good point as well. So, you know, the likes of the best of what he's saying is the best players that the EDS have got, or you know, a good half dozen of their first team regulars, you know, and their danger men and their talisman, they're all with the first team squad. And as Dan Halifax points out, it's for a pointless Champions League trophy. And I must admit, I do agree. I mean, I want youth players to be getting games, but I don't want youth players to be getting games at City where it's just a one-off, you know, a token. There's a 5-minute sub cameo in the FA Cup, or a ridiculous Champions League game that means nothing to anyone. You know, look at Phil Foden. Phil Foden was getting game time regularly. He was coming on as a sub in Premier League matches. He started against Tottenham and scored the only goal of the game a couple of seasons back. You know, he's getting actual, real, competitive game time, meaningful game time. So yeah, that makes it that's a good point. It makes you wonder what the thinking is behind it. You know, what the logic is behind that. I mean, you've got to feel for, I suppose, then, for the rest of the team that have had to manage without their best players. It's like a case of, does their competition not really matter? You know. Yes, it'd be nice to play 5 or 6 of the EDS lads in the Champions League, but they could have probably done that in the last game against Porto. You know, when we were already through. So, it's a good point, that, to be fair, Dan, mate. Christopher Laney, what's your thoughts on why Pep didn't play Foden? We all see how effective he is. When he gets playing time. I can't repeat that word. Especially with how bad Mahrez has been as well, except that hat trick. And Foden still doesn't play. You're not making this easy for me, by the way. I did say I'm trying not to have a go at Pep. I'm trying to be positive, but yeah, I don't get it. I really, really don't get it. Just everyone knows Phil Foden is going to be the future of this club. We all know he's got what it takes now. Why he isn't getting starts regularly, I don't know. Why Pepper's decided to change formations, like, you know, the style in how we play in midfield, I don't know. Maybe that's why we're not scoring as many goals. I honestly, I'm just as clueless as everybody else. I don't know why. I think it's ridiculous. For me, Foden should be one of the first names on that team sheet every day. Every day we play. So, yeah. Lorraine, Man City's women just beat Everton women 3-0. That's a good result for them. I know they're on the way now to Sweden for their European match against, is it Gothenburg? Probably Christopher might tell you that. I know he's from that neck of the woods, from Scandinavia. So, Lorraine as well. Do you remember Phil Foden was a young ball boy at Man City? Yeah. For those who don't know, most of the young ball boys at City are actually from City's academies. They all start there at some point. Oh yeah, there we go. They play Gothenburg in the first leg of the Champions League. Wish them all the best. 3 PM today. So yeah, if you can, if you can tune in, or if you can watch, I believe it's actually on telly as well. Get behind City's women. Champions League, 3 o'clock today. Christopher, I'm with you, Laney. Get Uwe back as manager in City. Yeah, let's get Uwe back. Everyone wants Uwe. Who's this Pep fella? Phil, is there a future for Ben Mendy? Yes, apparently he's going to be Twitter's poster boy. I think he's got a job, you know, he'll probably end up on MTV or something for the young people. I don't know. I'm not a fan of Mendy anymore. I wasn't really a massive fan when we signed him, to be honest, but there we are. What do I know? Anyway, my prediction for tonight, like I said, I'm not massively fussed on the result tonight. I just hope some of the young lads get to play. I hope we're injury-free. Without seeing the lineups, don't take this too badly, but I'm going for a 3-1 to Marseille. Just because they have got everything to play for. You know, they're really going to want to win tonight and win comfortably. They're 2 goals down on Olympiacos in terms of goal difference. And they're going to want to try and get into that Europa League spot at least. You know, so they're going to go all out. And they're not a bad team. So yeah, I'm going 3-1 Marseille, but I'm not thinking it's going to be we should be beating it. I think it's going to be more of a learning curve for City tonight, just for some of the players. And I think a lot of the focus is actually probably going to be on the derby. So, it'd be good to see Zach Steffen start, yep. We will see a reaction from United this weekend. Oh, bless United. I don't think we're going to see much of a reaction from them. I think they'll try, but I think it'll be hilarious. And that actually brings me on to my last point, because I'm getting tired and I do want sleep. It's Angelino, our very own little secret agent overseas. Bless him. I'm torn now. I'm really torn. Because I never wanted Angelino to go. I always wanted him to stay at City. I thought he had a spot at City. I thought he'd play well. I know people said, "Oh, he didn't last in the Premier League," and what. He's not really had proper chance in the Premier League. He really hasn't had much of a chance. If you look at so many players that we've had, they usually take 12 months to settle in. He wasn't given that opportunity before he was loaned out again. He didn't get the game time. And you look at what he's done at Leipzig. Semi-final last season of the Champions League. He's on absolute cracking form. I can't remember what the stats are this season. I know they were posted last night. But yesterday, a goal and an assist. Absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. He's... I hope to be honest, for his benefit, I hope he goes. Because I think if he came back to City for whatever, however that could happen, if he came back to City, I don't think he'd get appreciated by Pep. I don't think he'd get used by Pep. I think Pep has his favourites, he has his way of doing things, and I think he sticks to it, he sticks to his guns. I don't think Angelino's ever going to make it at City. Not because he hasn't got the talent or the ability, but I just think current management doesn't favour him. And it's a shame. So, fingers crossed. He goes off and he makes a cracking career of himself in Leipzig. And I think he could become one of the best left backs in Europe. Absolute top man. And well done. So yeah, just before I go, a little bit of nostalgia. See if anyone can remember, there was a film released, I think it was either late 90s or early 90s, called George of the Jungle, starring Brendan Fraser. Bit of a sort of a Tarzan kind of spoof. If you've ever watched that film, there's a scene in it where the bad guy, he's through the jungle with these African guides, and he trips over and falls face first into a load of elephant shit. And the whole scene from that moment on just reminded me of last night with United crashing out of the Champions League. Because if anybody watched it, if anyone's watched George of the Jungle, they'll know that the leader of the guide party, he looks at the camera and he just says, like, this is the part in the film where we all throw our heads back and laugh. At which point they all just get together and they all crack out laughing, and that's how I felt last night. I think the whole English football community, with the exception of the United fans obviously, all just took one big breath together and just erupted laughing. It's really funny. Oh, bless. Where would we be without them, eh? So yeah, whatever you do today, doesn't matter what happens, doesn't matter how bad things are, could always be worse. You could be a United fan. And with that, that's me done for this morning. I need sleep. Tonight, tune in. Mr. Dan Fielden, Manchester Blues' very own John Motson, will be going live doing the watch-along commentary. I'll be watching along with that as well. I'll be tuning in to see him and comment when I can. If you haven't watched it already, if you haven't watched one of the commentary follow-ons already, please tune in, because it's a cracking good laugh. You get some good commentary, plenty of talking points, plenty of topics to discuss. It's well worth it. So yeah, tune in tonight. Tomorrow night the Manchester's Blues show. That'll be on as well, so you can tune in for that. And then obviously there'll be the derby this weekend. So lots to look forward to from us guys. Keep the comments coming. It's been belting all morning. Thank you very much. Any more that come on, I'll address within the next 24 hours. I usually do. Other than that, stay safe. And as City Dave always says, City till we die. Take care, guys.